Hey everybody, Don here again, and welcome back to Ragged Edge Lure Works. Well, as I record this, it's the last week of June. This probably won't post until end of July. But to be honest with you, I have not been in the paint shop in a month. Between fishing for fun and kayak fishing tournaments and camping, and a lot of home projects, I just have not had time to get down here in the shop. But today it is a scorcher, just under 100 degrees here in New Hampshire, and this is going to hold for 2 or 3 days. Yesterday was 95. So I thought, okay, let's get in the shop and do some painting. Now, along with this heat is the humidity, and I've got the little dehumidifier here in the paint shop, and it is working overtime, but it's still just kind of sticky. So I'm kind of worried about the epoxying part of lure painting. But I've got a lot of stuff I've got to do. A while back, my friend Russ asked me to paint one of these in a perch pattern. He sent me one of these. I painted it for him. He sold it for stupid money. But I found the blank online, and I gave him a what I think is a reasonable price to paint some of these for him, and he's going to see if he can sell them again. So that's going to be painted into perch. And then I painted one of these for a friend. I found this online. It's a little pricier than a typical blank, but I ordered, I don't know, 15 of them, I think. And I've got a really good idea what I want to paint these for. These will be going down to the Smith River Trading Post. I'm going to start off painting 6 of them in perch, just because perch has been selling like crazy. No matter what lure blank I put it on, he just keeps selling it. And lastly, what I'm going to do today is my friend John sent me this and wants me to paint it in a pattern not really too different from what it is. You know, he gave me an idea what he wanted some lures painted way long time ago, and it's pretty similar to this, although it's got some red under here, and yeah, he wants me to paint this up. Now, I'm not really keen on this because it's got epoxy already on it. I can tell it's a hard epoxy. So I don't know how it's going to accept paint, but I'm going to paint this up for him. One of the things he wants is these insides of the joints to be red. I don't know, he wants them all like that. I'll probably do the first 2. I won't do this last little one. But we're going to paint this up for John, and hopefully this epoxy will accept primer and then paint. And then he sent me another one that he wants painted, and this one I think I'm going to do in a bluegill pattern for him. Look at this blank. Hook hanger here, obviously the line tie up here. Hook hanger here. What the heck is this hook hanger for? I don't know. I mean, it makes no sense to me, but I'm going to paint it up for him in a bluegill pattern, so stick around. Okay, so if you remember this video from way back when, John asked me to paint one of these shad wraps, and I think this was an old bomber over here. He asked me to paint it up in basically this pattern. So what I'm going to do with this is basically the same thing. I'm going to try to prime it up in white and see how the paint adheres to this body. I'm going to pull those eyes out of it, and we'll put some red eyes in it when I'm done. And then we're going to paint the inside here red. We'll probably do red there too. We'll put some scales on it, some red under the chin, a little red on this gill plate, but we'll try to get it somewhat close to what he asked for on the first time around. So let's get to painting. All right, so like I said, I have not been in the shop for over a month. Let's run a little water through the water clips just to make sure she's spraying good. No clogs. Looking good. All right, let's mix up a little opaque white. With a little balancing clear 40-30. And let's set up good. I might put just a tad of reducer in there. We're just painting this one lure of John's. Okay. Looks like she's running good. I really don't know how this paint is going to adhere to this lure that's already been epoxied. I've never tried to repaint a lure that had already been epoxied. Do multiple coats. Alright, before I do any other work on this thing, I put 3 coats of opaque white on it. I'm going to cover it up with a little UVLS just to lock in that white. You know, I'm just not sure how this paint is going to adhere, so I don't want to, when I start putting some screen on it, I don't want to have any peel off. Alright, little UVLS. Excuse me, I'm going to turn the fan on. Alright, well, I've cleaned out the paint gun. Now what I did was I cut a couple of little pieces of tape to kind of cover up those gills. Got the mesh on there, and now I'm going to mix up a little pearl black with some reducer. And maybe I'll put a drop or two of that 40-30 in there just to help with the flow. Why not? And I'm just going to get a light coat on the top and halfway down the sides. Pretty just a light coat. Oh. All right, let's pull the mesh off. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's put this back on the helping hands. Because now the back of this is going to get hit and then we're going to do some gill work around the face. And so let's just all right, on to the next. I'm going to put a little pearl white down on the bottom. All right, I mixed up a little pearl white. I'm just going to try to touch this up on the bottom a little bit. All right, I'm just going to highlight a little bit of this with red, and just a bright red. Then I'm going to put bright red under the chin, and this is just kind of around the gill plate. And then he wants some red in between the joints. Just kind of weird, but I get it. Could have gone a little bit farther up there. Alright, so now if you can see what I'm doing, I just kind of tape that off. Put a couple more drops of red in there. I'm just going to try to do inside of those joints without getting it everywhere else. Whew. That might work. All right, so I just got off the phone with John, and he likes the way it looks. He wanted this red inside the joints, but when I showed it to him, he said, yeah. I said, I'm not crazy about putting it in all the joints, and he said he agreed. So we'll get some red eyeballs on it, and we're gonna put some epoxy on this thing and get it on the rotisserie. It'll look a lot better once it's coated. All right, well, here's the finished product, and this is a pattern that John requested, and he likes it. And for me, that's all that really counts. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.